coffee's pouring strong. Talking Tigers all morning long. Saints exceed headlines on the screen. Breaking it down with a little caffeine. Grab your mug, come on in. Let's wake this day and let it begin. It's morning scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning scone. It's morning scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning scone. Where the coffee's hot, the takes are hotter.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Need an orthopedist? Go to Brock Need Roof, call Parish. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Bocock Brothers, premium cigars. Code MAT15, 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 15% off your order. And FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Today is the final day of media availability for fall camp practice out at LSU, and I will not be there. I'm going to drop off Drew at school, and then I got to head to Lake Charles. There's an event called Legislator, and we have a lot of clients there, a lot of politicians and state dignitaries and things like that. So I'm going to this luncheon in Lake Charles and then doing my show from the sports book there at the Golden Nugget in Lake Charles today. So if you're in the 337, know anybody in the LC, let them know. AFR today at Golden Nugget, the sports book inside Golden Nugget in Lake Charles. Hope to see a lot of you there. Lamar Brown was not at practice yesterday. Mentioned that. I think we mentioned that he got I don't know if we mentioned before, but in the practice on Tuesday, he got rolled up during a team period. He was fine whenever we were there for the individuals on Tuesday, but then I was told he just, it was a little scrum and a couple guys were slow to get up. He was one of them, so they put him in a boot as a precautionary deal. He put out on social yesterday he's out of the boot. I mean, it was very much not a significant thing. But Lamar was not there yesterday. I don't know if he'll be there today. Worth keeping an eye on, but it's really not worth risking anything with him, especially at that position where you're thin. With Shanklin not with the team, with Relaford's injury, Pyburn would certainly help fortify that if he came back. So something worth keeping an eye on there. So Tigers have their final practice for us of fall camp, and then they'll scrimmage Saturday morning. It's like a maybe late morning, early afternoon scrimmage. So, they're going to get out there in the heat, scrimmage tomorrow. So, no media availability for that. Then Sunday's an off day, and then school begins on Monday, and they get ready for Clemson. So, here we go. All right. You know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, podcast. Please subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Rate us, leave a review. We'll say some good morning, see what y'all got. Hey, Tiger Poppy, good morning. Clayton, good morning. Hunter, good morning. Mojo, has the NCAA ever won an appeal? Oh, sure. They won plenty of them. They won their appeal in the Joey Aguilar case at Tennessee. They won their appeal in the Charles Bediako case. It's about 50-50, which is strange. Most people think that the NCAA never wins, but Ross Dellinger has actually reported on this a bunch. And there's a lot of maybe less notorious cases that you may not be familiar with, but the NCAA, it's about 50%. Hey, Michael, good morning. Do you think LSU special teams would be an upgrade from last season? They weren't bad last season, Michael. That's something that's important to remember. I went through, in a recent Locked On episode, the special teams efficiency rankings for like the last 4 years. Hang on. See if they're on this notebook or another one. Must be on another one. Oh, well. Where, like, Brian Kelly's first year, LSU was like 122nd in special teams efficiency. And then they went from like 122 to 75 to like 47 to last year. They were like, I don't know, 23 or something like that. Tell you right now, hang on. So in 2025, LSU in special teams efficiency was 28. So you compare that to where they were when Brian Kelly got here in 2022. Remember, he did not retain Greg McMahon. They were really bad. They were 122. So they were 122nd in the country in special teams efficiency in 2022. They went from 122 to 75. So I was right about that. They went from 122 to 75 to 37 to 28. So they improved every year under Kelly because they were so bad. They made an emphasis. So they got better last year. Now you're replacing Damian Ramos, who's the school's all-time leading scorer, and so Scott Starzik is going to be that guy. Hayden Grant Chadwick is going to be the punter, the transfer from Middle Tennessee. So, if I had to guess today, I would guess Jace Brown is going to return punts. Brown, Winnie Watkins, Trey Wilson. Those are the guys that we saw in spring mostly doing it. But Wilson's the most dynamic, but he couldn't catch the ball. So I think Jace Brown will probably be the guy returning punts. So, yeah, man, I think they'll be good. Joe Houston's a really good special teams coordinator, man. Hey, Kevin. Adam, good morning. Have a fantastic day. Thanks, man. Same to you. Christian, interesting point was brought up. How can a player join the portal without being attached to a school? Doesn't the school enter their name? I don't know the nuance. Like if you maybe in this situation, because they were granted more eligibility, they were able to do so. But normally, yes, the compliance department is the one. Like the player would have to go to the compliance department, give them their name, and then enter it. But I don't know the protocol of doing that. I can certainly ask today. Lord knows I've had enough conversations with the particulars about this whole thing here in the last 72 hours. I'll probably get that answer. Hey, Devin, good morning. We sometimes RV. Good morning, Matt. What is Ole Miss ranked in the SP+? A lot of talking heads say they'll make the playoffs again. Tell you right now what they're ranked. So SP+ is a metric that ESPN's Bill Connolly puts out. It uses a bunch of it's an algorithm-based thing. He's got their metrics. They throw out like an offensive rating, a defensive rating, a special teams rating, strength of schedule, all that sort of stuff. But Ole Miss is 16 in the SP+. Computers do not like Ole Miss. So if you're wondering, Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Georgia, Indiana, that's your top five. Then Texas, Texas Tech, Miami, Texas A&M, LSU's at 10. Bama 11, Oklahoma 12, USC 13, Michigan, Tennessee, Ole Miss. Hey, Jesse, good morning. Fitness, good morning from Bastrop. My father and I are planning to go to our first ever Saints game at the Dome. That's awesome, man. Wow, first ever game. Which one are you going to go to? Saints games are great, man. It's a totally different vibe from a college game, but the Dome's great. Splurge and get good seats. It's worth it. Don't go sit up in the nosebleeds. And Enjoy the day, man. Get there early. Go enjoy the day around the dome. Hey, Craig. Falcon with a hat. Good morning. Crazy Cajun. Good morning. Curious if Jack gets to play. Does that mean he's eligible to re-enter the draft next year? I do remember him being a UDFA. Thanks. Have a great weekend. So some people have challenged me on this, but I will tell you, I talked to attorneys and agents yesterday and was told unequivocally that their belief is, yes, he would be able to re-enter the draft next year. Like, that is the consensus point of view from agents and attorneys. Effectively, because it's no team would if he's cut by the Bucs, they would not retain his rights. And if he were back in school, he would have the opportunity to re-enter the draft because it was almost like he never left school, if you think of it that way. But that's not my opinion. Like, that's the opinion of both agents and attorneys I spoke to yesterday, who the consensus belief is like unequivocally, yes, he would be able to re-enter the draft. Hey, Brian, good morning from Dumas, Texas. I love to see Pyburn come back. Well, just strictly from a football standpoint, right? And here's the thing. I know there's a lot of people who, and I'm one of them, that don't like college players coming back. This group of players, the 2022 players, are the singular group where I have a modicum of sympathy because they were not initially given the option of staying. They were told, your eligibility's done, see ya. And so they left. And then retroactively, now they would have had the opportunity to stay. Well, if the NCAA had a little forethought here and given the 22s a blanket waiver, then Jack Pyburn probably never goes to the draft. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of these guys never leave. So I guess that's the one difference. It's not like we're talking about R.J. Lewis, the basketball player, right, from St. John's. He was the Big East Player of the Year. Like, he left. He voluntarily left college to go become a pro and now wants to come back. Like, I have a problem with that. That's a big, big, big difference to me anyway. But I still believe that, look, the NCAA has ruled all the 22 guys ineligible. They've been granted an injunction for the TRO here to play. But I still maintain, if you want to make this clean, one of two things could happen. The NCAA could grant a blanket waiver to the 2022 kids, which they probably should have done to begin with. And then, or the adults in the room can say, no, the NCAA has deemed you and determined you ineligible. You cannot play for us. But the adults will do that. Hey, Dad, good morning. Luke, good morning. Clemson any good? I heard Chuck Oliver yesterday on his show thinks Clemson's a 6 or 7 win team. I think they're Clemson's over-under this year is 7.5. So Vegas thinks they're 7-5, 8-4. Quarterback very unsettled. They lost a bunch of their offensive firepower from a year ago. I think their linebackers are going to be pretty good. But, I mean, you lost those 2 defensive linemen. You lost Avion Terrell in the back end. I just don't think they're going to be very good. Tony, good morning, Matt. How's the recovery going? And should the Saints sit our starters since we have a serious injury bug? Well, I think a lot of starters are going to sit. None of the starters played in the preseason opener, and I don't know that I would run them out there, especially after having the joint practices this week with Cowboys and the Rams. It's like that's your good on good work, right? And recovery's going well. Thank you for asking. Yeah. On the mend, feeling much, much better. Few little sore spots. I mean, tomorrow morning, today, 2 weeks ago today was whenever I had appendicitis and had the surgery Saturday morning. So, but yeah, man, I'm on the mend. So thank you. Kiss, what up? XRP, good day for crypto yesterday. Nice to see everything running. It's always good to see green numbers. Hey, Ben, good morning. T-Mac, any update on Coach O? Nope. Coach O was not at practice again yesterday. And again, I don't suspect he'll be there today. I won't be there for the media viewing portion. As I mentioned, I got to go to Lake Charles, but I'm sure there'll be reports out there about it. But I do not suspect that Coach O will be out there today. Hey, Dre, good morning. Ready for football? Ready to watch this team? Hey, Brad, good morning. Heard Lane in the press conference say when he wins the coin toss, he makes his decision based off analytics. Do you like that or think he just defer every time? I'm a little more willing to consider Lane Kiffin's point of view because he is so analytical. And also one of the things he said was he likes to take the ball because he feels like they can go score. Now, remember, this is a true thing about Lane Kiffin I'll look up the metrics and the numbers for you, but he wants to take the ball a lot of times because because he is very good at scripting the first 15 plays or whatever based on their week of preparation. And they typically go score and get a lead. So, and then playing with the lead changes numbers and dynamics and all that. Overwhelmingly, my feeling is always defer. Like because you'll get the extra possession in the second half. So I'd rather the extra possession in the second half almost exclusively. I'm willing to consider Lane Kiffin's point of view just because he's just different. Bubba Smith, good morning. Hey Dale, good morning. Ole Miss fans delusional and upset. What are they upset about? I don't know. Leon, good morning. Jacob, good morning. Dre, we'll find out about when will we find out about 7 and 18? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. I know typically at the end of fall camp is when, well, at least under Brian Kelly, that's when they would announce it. So they have the scrimmage in Tiger Stadium tomorrow, and that's sort of the end of fall camp. So maybe that's when they do it. But I don't know. Hey, Mary, good morning from the 318. Adam, while in Lake Charles, head to Delta Downs Racetrack. No, the track announcer, Don Stevens. Okay. I'm not going to do that today. I'm literally driving in, going to this luncheon, leaving the luncheon, going straight over to the Golden Nugget and doing my doing AFR from the sports book at Golden Nugget. And then plans are to head on home. I might stay the night, depending on if we have dinner and who's there and all that sort of stuff. But if it kind of empties out and the event's just over, then I'll probably drive on home. Hey, Leon, is Caden Durham on the roster? He sure is. Yeah, on the roster. Clayton, so the Saints and Cowgirls both fined $500,000 for the brawls, apparently. Saw that, yes. Organizations were fined, but not players. That was interesting. Who's the reporter that does the stat with Lane? He's very good on those stats. That's Buddy Sanji. So Buddy is not a reporter. He's a longtime radio guy. I mean, Buddy started Buddy Sports Talk in the 1980s, late 1980s. So, I mean, he is the longest running sports talk show maybe in the world. I mean, he's been doing his show since the late 80s, and I worked with Buddy at 1210 in 2007, 8, 9. It's funny, people always say, oh, man, I've been listening to you since you were with Condon. But I did run the board for Buddy as well. So Buddy was noon to 3. Then Josh Ennis and I did the fastest hour 3 to 4, and then I worked with Condon 4 to 6. So I was in there on 3 different shows from like noon to 6. Hey, John, good morning from the 615. What's the latest date student athletes can enroll? Knowing Wright's court date is the 31st, do you make them enroll now? Well, remember, you have the ad drop date. September 2nd is the final ad drop date. There you go. So, the week of the Clemson game, September 2nd is that date. HD, good morning. Chris, good morning. Corey, good morning, big dog. Why doesn't the NCAA rules hold weight? Well, it's a very good question. Very obvious question that probably needs to be answered. I'll do it just a second.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Okay. Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. If you need a roof, you call us at Parish. Winner of the best roofing company in the best of Baton Rouge, ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Hey, Unique Physique, Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. You need your GLP-1s. They can help you out there. And, of course, Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. HRT for women. Ladies, make sure you go get your labs checked. Restored Motions, book a session with Crystal Poche at restoredmotions.com, restoredmotions.com. Bocock Brothers Premium Scars. I wonder if they have, let me check the website, y'all. I want to see if they have the new LSU box live yet. Today's the day. Oh, it's not live on the website yet. Dag nabbit. Okay. It's supposed to be today that they unveil it. So as soon as they unveil it, we'll talk about it. Looking forward to it. And of course, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. Oh, the question about why does the NCAA rule hold weight? Well, remember, the NCAA doesn't have any legal bearing in the same way that if the NFL has a rule book where they throw a flag for pass interference. Well, that's their rule, but there's no legal bearing there on that rule. And so what happens is all these member institutions voluntarily agree to be part of the NCAA and abide by NCAA rules. Well, what's happening, though, is the NCAA, because their antitrust exemption, they keep losing in court. Or because of antitrust laws, I should say. Like the NFL has an antitrust exemption. But the NCAA keeps basically losing in court because every time they try to enforce one of their rules, they get sued and they lose in court. But again, the thing that would solve it is if all of the administrators at these universities said, no, we're going to abide by NCAA rule because we agree to be members of the NCAA, and we need a governance structure, and that's what the NCAA is. But nobody wants to abide by the rules if they don't like the ruling. Matt, I wonder how Jaden Daniels feels about the new 5 for 5 rule. Got it. Leslie, good morning. Sylvain, how you feeling about Kiffin saying that he'll likely take the ball if he wins the coin flip? Actually, someone just asked that a little while ago. We talked about it. Yeah, I don't like it, but I'm more willing to consider it because it's Lane Kiffin, and he is as detailed and analytical a coach as you could imagine. And I'm sure what he's thinking is get the ball, score first, play with the lead, win probability goes up. Eli, good morning, Matt. What the heck is going on with all the NFL players going back to college? Where you been, man? The very quick synopsis is, so the NCAA approved a 5 for 5 rule. So it's no more 5 years to play for. Starting with the class, the 2027 signees, it's now 5 for 5. Every player can play 5 years of eligibility. No more red shirts, no more medicals, and no more and your clock starts as soon as you enroll in college or when you turn 18. So that means if you go play professional baseball for 4 years and then try to come back, you would only have 1 year of college eligibility remaining. So Zach Von Rosenberg, for example, would not have been able to come back to college because your clock starts when you turn 18 or when you graduate high school, or when you enroll or when you graduate high school, excuse me. So, but the only class that would not have been able to take advantage of that is the signing class, the guys who signed in 2022 who played 4 years in 4. So like Jack Pyburn, he never took a red shirt. So he played his 4 years. So he's out of eligibility, or he was out of eligibility at the end of the season. However, in the springtime, or just a couple months ago when they passed 5 for 5, he would have been eligible to stay. But the draft was in April, and he didn't have the option at the time to stay. But now all the 2022 guys who are still in school had that extra year of eligibility. Does that make sense? So some of those 22 guys who wanted the opportunity to play again went to court, and the judge in Colorado granted a waiver for those 22 guys to be able to play. So legally now he can come back and play in college because they got the TRO. So it's an interesting thing now. And my feeling on it, and Jeff Watson, who's attorney who handles all the NIL law for Gordon, was with us yesterday, and he shared this sentiment. The NCAA should give a blanket waiver, a one-time blanket waiver like they did for the COVID year. They gave everybody an extra year for COVID. It was just a blanket waiver. Everybody, COVID, it was a thing that happened, and it's just this 1 year, and everybody gets that year for free, and then once it's done, it's done. And that's probably what the NCAA should have done with the 22 class as well, was just a one, because it's not like you're going to have this conversation again next year. It literally just affects this group of players that played 4 years of eligibility across 4 seasons that signed in the class of 22 that would have had another year, but now don't because of the timing of the rule. You can shrug your shoulders and say, well, that just stinks for them. It's just bad timing. And if that's your opinion, that's okay. And I don't disagree with that. There were some people who walked the face of the earth during the Black Plague. There's some people who, had to kill woolly mammoths with their hands to eat. I can drive through a drive-through, whatever. Sometimes it's circumstance. But I think my point is all of this would have been cleaner. It would have been very easy if they would have just been, if the NCAA would have said blanket waiver for the 22 guys to have the extra year. Instead, now you have all the lawsuits. Morning, Matt. Not hearing anything about Coach O kind of got me concerned. Hope he's okay. Do you know anything about it, even rumor? Of course I do. Why do you think I keep bringing it up? But I'm not going to say anything about it because until I have it completely confirmed, like there's no sense in spreading. I'm not spreading rumors. But again, like Lane said on Monday that he wasn't feeling well, so they sent him home. And I told you he was not there on Saturday. Now, I don't think it is not anything that is like life-threatening or anything. It's not that. Please don't miss. It's not that at all. Yeah, but I hope he's back soon, man. I mean, he's a great asset, coaching a position that you need help. Scott, good morning, Matt. Congrats. Oh, yeah, how about it? Cade Anderson called up. Yep, Cade Anderson got the call up. He's going to make his first start for the Mariners on Saturday. So his stats in the minors are just absurd. It's like 134 strikeouts and 13 walks, like a 1.06 ERA and 93 innings pitched is incredible. So congrats to Cade Anderson. Tiger Diver, good morning. Lutcher Will, good morning. John, I see all the guys picking Ole Miss over LSU. I don't see it. Your thoughts? Well, none of us have seen LSU play. So let's see what it looks like maybe when they play Clemson. I mean, if they go out and score 50 against Clemson, I think a lot of people will change their minds. Do you think Lane has any interest in bringing Jack Pyburn back? Yes. As a matter of fact, I know for certain Jack Pyburn wants to come back. Well, clearly, I mean, he wouldn't have filed the injunction if he didn't want to come back. And LSU and Lane Kiffin want Jack Pyburn back. And I would tell you that they also have a very strong interest in Daquan Wright, the tight end, who's currently with the Cleveland Browns, may make that team. And Xavier Harris is a possibility there as well, the defensive lineman. The big question is, number one, do you have enough roster spots? And number two, can you pay them? And that's a little more complicated. But if you ask me today, like if I had to pick today, August 21st at 7:13 a.m., I would tell you that I think Jack Pyburn plays for LSU against Clemson. If I had to pick it today. I mean, we may get new information. Stuff could change. But if I had to guess today, I would tell you I think Jack's playing against Clemson. Hey, Devin, I was watching practice videos. Coach O was in the video. He didn't look good. Get well soon, Coach. Jackson, good morning. Rocky, good morning. Mike Scarborough believes Coach O has a cardiovascular issue going on. Do you agree? Boy, that is really reckless to say that. I did not hear what Mike said. And no. The reason that I haven't said anything about it is because of that. Because if you don't know with absolute certainty and you start saying things like that, that's how awful rumors get started and things spread. That is, I didn't hear what Mike said, so I don't want to comment completely. But no, that's why you don't go flippantly say things. Coach K, did I want to get into it about the TRO and Jack Pyburn? Oh, Kiffin, yeah. Yesterday was super disappointing at that press conference, man. I got the microphone one time, and Lane was asked one question. It was very vague about the TRO. I had a list of questions I wanted to ask. I did want to ask for an update on Coach O. I wanted to ask specifically, would you welcome Jack Pyburn back to LSU? How many roster spots do you have? Are you interested in bringing any of the former Ole Miss players back to LSU? I mean, there were some very pointed, direct questions that needed to be asked, and I got the microphone one time, and nobody else asked those questions. There were silly things asked about touchdown celebrations and other ridiculousness, but not the actual questions that people needed to answer or ask. Very disappointing yesterday. Yeah, whatever. I don't know about Jeff Goodman. Dexton, good morning, Matt. Early wake-up calls are getting harder. After they suited up in the preseason game, though, kind of silly. I hear you. Is Pyburn really worth the money? Wasn't impressed with him last year. So Jack Pyburn played 600 defensive snaps last year. He never came off the field. And I think something else that we're going to learn throughout this is that has never been reported I'm working on. Jack played through some pretty significant injuries a year ago and still was your best run-stopping edge. Most people, when they look at an edge, they just look at a sack or TFL total, and that was not there for Jack last year, obviously. But Jack Pyburn's PFF grade last year was a 72.9. In run defense, it was an 85.3. You need a big physical guy that can set the edge. And especially now you're talking about a guy, when you think about the position where Uman Mielen and Jordan Ross are basically the same guy. And after that, it's Dylan Carpenter, who's been a career backup, and Lamar Brown, who's a true freshman. When you don't have Relaford, Damian Shanklin is not with the program. Like, you are really thin. And you can add a fifth-year player who's played in 41 games with 20 starts, who knows the defense, and, by the way, just had 2 sacks in an NFL preseason game. He makes you better. Undeniably, inarguably makes you better. Okay, I got to go. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, podcast, subscribe in your favorite podcast app, rate us, leave a review. Locked on LSU is live, AFR at 3 from Lake Charles. If you're in the LC, help us spread the word, y'all. We're at Golden Nugget. We're at the Sportsbook inside of Golden Nugget today in Lake Charles. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Y'all have an awesome day. We'll see you. Peace.